More breaking news, in fact. A man is dead, another is hurt following a shooting in Florida City. Police have been on the scene all morning long, and that's where we find CBS News Miami's Bree Buckley. She joins us now. Bree, we understand you've been talking to the family of the victim and have some new video, in fact.
Yeah, a lot of family members out here. We're going to get to that video in just a minute. But first, I want to show you, this is a new development since the last time we checked in about a half an hour ago. We have seen Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office crime scene investigators just showed up right here on scene. We saw two vans pull up past the caution tape just in the last few minutes as we were setting up for this live shot here. Now, let's get to this video we were talking about. I want to give you a warning here first. It's the Facebook video, the Facebook Live that the victim who died was doing as this happened. We've been talking about it all morning. Family members shared this video with us. We're going to give you a glimpse at this video, just a quick clip that shows the gunshots. The video is black because at this point the phone has dropped on the ground. Again, we do want to warn you, this may be tough to listen to. You hear the gunshots there. Then moments later, we hear the victim who was shot and was taken to the hospital. We hear him calling 911 saying he's been shot and someone else is dead. Then we see.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. Today I'm reacting to a clip out of Miami from CBS News Miami. You know, violence is definitely on an uprise here in America, especially gun violence and you know, people being stabbed. It's something that I've been covering here for like the last 2 months, and this incident was captured on Facebook Live, as you see on the lower thirds there. Don't know if it was you know, two individuals being robbed, or you know, we really don't have too much of a backstory. Just trying to just shed some light on the fact that this is like a continuous thing that's just, you know, increasing really. And it really doesn't matter what state you're in, what city you're in. You know, you can see it all over the country. It's happening everywhere, really. But, you know, these guys were, you know, one of the guys, I guess, was on Facebook Live, or he went live when, you know, the incident kicked off. And, of course, you heard the shots. It is said that, you know, one person died from the injuries and another is in critical condition. You know, definitely tragic that there's a rise in violence that's going on in America. Again, we don't know the circumstances surrounding this, but I can only assume what it could be related to. You know, and it's crazy because I don't really think there's anything that's going to really stop it. The more, you know, people, you know, deal with certain things, like gangs, drugs, people, you know, robbing people, home invasions, you know, you may have disagreements, you know, it could be a number of different things that led up to this shooting. But, you know, it's just one of those things. We don't even know the ethnicities of the individuals involved. So, you know, again, I don't want to draw conclusions or anything like that. You know, but you know, a lot of everything goes on down in Miami. You know, Florida City, you know, just the whole Miami-Dade County. A lot of different things go down in that area. So it could be any number of things. So let the clip continue to play, see if we get more information.
Police show up on scene and begin to render aid. In that video, we see the same officer that we see out here on the scene. So let's get right to some scene video from earlier this morning. This is the corner of Northwest 3rd Avenue and Northwest 14th Street here in Florida City. MDSO says around 12:30, deputies were called for a man shot. They found one man dead here on scene, and the other was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Family members have been showing up here all morning, as well as some of the victim who died, some of his friends. They're telling us that he was a funny guy. He was always putting a smile on your face. They say he went live on Facebook all the time, and they're just so devastated by what happened this morning.
That's disturbing, ma'am. That's very disturbing to me. Very.
Did he go live a lot on?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's our neighborhood comedian. Everybody look at the videos. Everybody laugh. You know, every time I see him, I give him a hug, tell him I love him, 'cause that's my cousin.
Just a few moments ago, right before we got on this live shot here, we actually also just spoke to a Florida City commissioner who tells us he went to the scene, he spoke to police, and that MDSO are looking into that same video, investigating that video as part of evidence in this crime. Again, crime scene investigators just got here on scene. MDSO says the detective unit has been here on scene investigating as well. We're going to stick out here and see what more we can find. Stick with us throughout the morning.
So I know, more information will likely come out. Um, the lady there, which is a family member, so of course my condolences to the family of the man that lost his life. Um, definitely want to be empathetic to that. They, as she was saying, this person always went live. Um, I think it was the person that was shot that went live because he was still, aware, and they say he's in stable condition, not critical condition. So, that's some good news there. But they were saying, the individual always went live, very funny, neighborhood comedian. So of course he was on the internet trying to gain a following, go viral, and look to change his life. Because everyone knows, man, the internet is one of those places to where you get a pool of everything. And of course, comedic content is a lot of times it rises to the top. Drewski, um, and several others, Desi Banks, it's just, Country Wayne doing his skits and stuff like that. Um, it's just a whole number of people who have, changed their lives just by uploading their content and skits to the internet. Um, so, maybe they're able to get, um, some type of lead, or something to go off of from looking at that video. Of course, they only showed us just a small portion of the video because now it becomes evidence. And, maybe the family knows some information that they'll be willing to, give to the investigators and stuff like that to assist with this whole case. And, we'll see if there's any updates on this. A lot of times I've noticed that certain stories will come out and, it's just really breaking news and there's never really too much of a follow up to it. So, we'll see if this is one of those cases to where there's a follow up and see if we can, bring more insight into what happened. But just wanted to react to, what they're, calling a deadly double shooting that happened in Florida City, Miami-Dade County. And, the events was captured on Facebook Live. So, it's no telling how many, people he had watching his live at the time, but, the internet has become a place to where you often see shootings, stabbings, and, unfortunate deaths all over the internet. Um, Another thing I want to say too, of course, you have to be very, very careful as far as, when you're going live inside your residence. Sometimes people can recognize the interiors of certain places and stuff like that, know exactly, where you are and that you're there at that moment. And if they're out to, do harm to you, they know exactly where to come. So, you have to be careful. As careful as you can, because again, man, none of us actually knows when this type of stuff will happen to us. And only thing we can do is, be aware and try to stay on point as much as possible. I'm going to close out this video here. Not too much more that I can really say or give opinion to, because like the information is very vague at this moment. But if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This is Justin Paul. Peace.